guys, my name's CJ, welcome to the channel today. So we're having a look at a really special car. A friend of mine named Bullen, he owns probably one of the UK's only twin turbo 350Zs. So let's take a good look around it, we'll go for a good spin out, so see what you think. There's nothing immediately that kind of gives it away that this is anything naughty or really special until you see those little mushroom filters. One this side and one the other. One of the many challenges of trying to turbo a 350Z, and probably one of the reasons why there's only a couple of people in the UK have actually done it, I think it's just space-wise. So what have we got going on here? I mean, I can't even see these turbos. Where are they?
Just basically you've got one buried down there and one buried down there. They're what they call low mount turbos, so you won't really see them. They're tucked just below, beside the transmission tunnel.
Do you think these are an absolute nightmare to work on then?
Yes.
If there is a problem?
If there is, the turbos have to come off regardless. I've done a clutch, turbos have to come off. You get very little space. I mean, obviously you've got the intercooler pipes that come up round, buried down, go through there. Same on that side, comes up and goes round and down.
But normally we see one large intercooler at the front. This has kind of got two joined together. Is there any benefits to doing that?
Basically, same again, space. Obviously, you've got very little on the front end where you can put it in. So it was easier to keep with the roll bar. It's got a big aluminium crash bar along the front of it.
Sure.
Easier to put two along underneath it, mount them to that, weld it, and it comes out in one.
How long have you owned the car now?
7 years nearly now.
That's crazy. How long did you have it just in like stock engine before you went boosted?
About 2 years, just shy of 2 years, and it only came about on a sort of a whim. We went and done a Snetterton run with a couple of mates in standard form, and it handled like a boat. That was leather seats were horrible, slid everywhere, suspension saggy. It was just terrible.
They're just like a grand tour, aren't they? They weren't really meant for track.
Not at all. That's what it was obviously originally, as I bought it, a GT spec with the obviously every optional extra you could get, and yeah, that weren't designed to go around the track.
So after taking it around track, that was it. You thought, do you know what?
That was a slippery slope. That was the plan. Was never to go boosted. That was just to start off with lowering springs, and then that wasn't low enough. Then obviously upgraded the wheels.
Yeah.
Got some better tyres, and then obviously exhaust, moved on to the normal bits. You can't really do much with the engines on these because the ECU is that refined that anything you put on it, that learns itself again. In terms of like a naturally aspirated map, do you mean? Yeah, basically. Like, you put on exhaust, you put on air filters, you gain yourself 15 horsepower at best. A couple of weeks later, that's relearned itself, doesn't want to be running that sort of mixture of fuel, and then dials it back self to stock. So you just literally like, oh, that's really helpful. Yeah, waste your money. A turbo kit popped up on eBay from the States.
From the States?
From the States, because they're obviously left-hand drive, they're the big ones that do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I was looking at it, and then a couple of lads from work convinced me to buy it, and I was dubious whether it would fit, left-hand drive, right-hand car.
You don't know till you tried it?
No, went on the forums, everybody said it wouldn't fit, asked if anybody ever tried it. No one's ever tried it.
Yeah.
So I thought, fuck it, take the plunge.
Yeah.
Took the plunge, got halfway through stripping it all down, ready to put the manifolds on. Turns out it don't fit. And I was quite a way into it, so it was either put it all back together or plough on and make everything basically.
Feathering the throttle on that second?
Just feather the throttle.
Cool.
It's got standard, what they call Uprev remap, which is, there's about a handful of people that can tune it in the UK.
Sure.
And this was done by Horsham Developments, or HDev.
Ah, they're a big name, yeah.
Yeah, and they were the ones that did it. Obviously, when I built it, that had a what they call piggyback ECU.
Sure.
To get it just a generic map up, running, iron out all the faults, and then take it down to them, and they map it all in properly. Allegedly, you can put it together. If you have the kit and it fits left-hand drive, obviously if it's supposed to, you can do it in a week. And that took me about, well, it was actually done in a couple of months, but then we ran into a little teething problems with the turbos because they were, the new manifolds meant they were mounted lower down.
Gotcha.
So the drain has to be, has to have a pump, scavenge pump to pull it back. They won't manually drain
because it's even lower.
Because
yeah.
it's even lower.
Got you.
But when I first built them, obviously the kit wasn't designed to have them that little bit lower, so that wasn't part of it. So it was a trial and error thing. And when I started them up, all the oil was backing up in the turbo.
Sure.
So then I had to have them refurbed. Had brand new ones refurbed. And yeah, and literally anything you made, you were just making something else. You made the manifolds, then the turbos would fit, but then the exhaust wouldn't fit, so you remade the exhaust. Then the fuel line wouldn't fit, then the boost pipes wouldn't fit, so then you made intercooler pipe, and it's just on and on and on and on. But I mean, that was me. Lawsy, he donated a week of his time to help.
Very nice.
Hutch, he built the manifolds for me.
Cool.
And John Mancini, he does all my welding, and he made the custom cage in the back there. When you look online, to buy the kit is about £9 off the shelf, and then
UK for you to buy it.
For you to buy it, as in still the left-hand drive kit,
yeah.
But for you to get it all in is £9, and then Abbey Motorsport or probably HDev as well charge about £15 in labour to make it fit and make it go on.
Seriously?
So you're looking at about sort of 15 to 20 grand all in to get.
I mean, that's not even worth it.
No, exactly.
Jesus Christ.
As far as the last time I checked, there's about 3, maybe 5 turbo versions of these in the UK. Most people supercharge because it's cheaper and just easier.
But not Bullen.
No.
Bullen for not me.
I'm going balls out.
Yeah, but that's good. That's what makes this so unique.
Yeah, I mean, the future plans. I've got spare engine. I've got pistons. I've got rods.
Yeah.
I've got the bits to do it. Just either waiting for this to shit itself, or pulling the trigger and getting it done. It doesn't owe me that much money. It owes me more in labour and favours. It probably only owes me about 10, including buying it. I mean, obviously,
wow.
The car cost me like 7. I think about obviously like 7 years ago, and
so you've really put about £3 into it, and you've been able to save that much. That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is one of my favourite things about the car. So many cute sunglasses. Look at that. Genius. At the moment, stock block, obviously running the twin turbo setup. What's kind of the limiting factor on the power here?
Rods
Okay.
are the limiting factor. The kit will take 650, it's 700, give or take.
Wow.
Each one is Garrett GT28 ball bearing, both rated to about 350. So yeah, so they could go as in like each individual. So you're talking like sort of 650, 700 for the two. And if I change rods, the next one will probably be intercooler because it's 2 individual coolers but welded up into one.
Yeah, that's a nice setup. That is. It's different, isn't it?
Yeah. So
it's been boosted about 5 years.
Yeah, but
Fuck.
I don't do much mileage in it, so it's does, I don't know, probably 1,000 miles a year at best.
I mean, still though, if you have done about 5,000 miles pretty much on the edge of...
I still think it could take more.
Why twin turbo?
To be fair, like I said, I weren't planning on turboing it at all anyway. It just, they popped up, and twin is, I think, better because obviously being a V6 engine
kind of
balances both sides.
Yeah.
And the way it's set up is just all. You get it all at the same time. You don't have, it's not, what's it like when one kicks in and then you get low boost, high boost.
I was about to say, like in a Supra,
yeah,
you know, one bigger, one smaller originally, like, so you'll get one which kind of boosts you to the next one. What do you think's been the hardest part of trying to twin turbo 350Z?
No space to do anything. 350Z, 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 3 and as soon as you make something else doesn't fit. That's just, and the biggest point is not many people have done it, and the ones that have done it are in the States. So when I was doing it, any help I needed was you email them, they're asleep, you go to sleep, they wake up, they email you, and it's slow is to say the least. And then if you need to buy anything, it's all got to be sent from, like the fuel return system is CJ Motorsports fuel return system, and that come from the States, and that was like a 3-week wait just for that.
Overall though, are you happy with the finished product you've got right now? Oh,
definitely. I mean, I imagined when I built it, and we had a couple of mates involved in helping building it, I imagined there'd be more teething problems after. Normally you build it, you run it, something breaks, something comes off, you do that. I mean, touch wood, I've not really had any trauma. I've had a few boost pipes pop off here and there. The clutch was obviously, when I did it and I boosted it, I didn't do the clutch straight away.
Gotcha.
And then that was the next biggest thing to go, and that was obviously slipping. So that's now been uprated to a triple plate with a single flywheel.
Hey, that's no joke.
But I saved so much weight pulling everything out of it. That was, I mean, the standard seats are like, I think they're 30 or 40 kilo a seat, because they have twin airbags, heated leather. Obviously all the motors, adjustable, electric front, back. So yeah, just pulling them out alone saved a lot.
What does a 350Z weigh? Like just curb weight normally?
I think it's 2 ton, just shy of 2 ton, or it might be 1,600 kilo actually.
Okay.
But in between,
small difference there.
Yeah, just half a ton difference.
Yeah, it weighs something.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so we're all finished with Bullen's car now. Super unique car. One of only a couple in the UK to be in that twin turbo spec. I think it's amazing actually how cheap and relatively inexpensive Bullen's been able to do that for. You heard earlier in the video just how much it would cost you retail to be able to do that in the UK now. Super resourceful guy, been able to do it on a good budget, be able to achieve a great horsepower figure of just over 420. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and just let's chat in the comments.